Welcome back for another book review. Today we are talking about this one. So this is Wicca Year of Magic, From the Wheel of the Year to the Cycles of the Moon, Magic for Every Occasion by Lisa Chamberlain. Now this was part of my reading day where I read a bunch of like these small books because I was feeling like crap. So I read these two like back to back. I'll have a different one for this one obviously, but like needless to say I have hit the mark at which she kind of didn't do that good. Like, I've loved her other books, and this one were just not it for me. So for this one in particular, this is about the Wheel of the Year and the Moon. Now, the Wheel of the Year, and like, honestly, okay, all of Lisa Chamberlain's books are Wicca something, right? And for the most part, it's like kind of Wicca, but like mostly like everyone could kind of get along with it, and it's fine. This is Wicca. This is only Wicca. That's about it. So this is the Wheel of the Year. Obviously, it's only focused on the Wiccan variation, so a lot of witches have taken the Wheel of the Year concept and adjusted it. So like, for myself, I'm really reevaluating it quite a bit. I'm not the only witch that does that. Like, there's a lot that like you remove this concept that like everything cycles around a pregnancy. Like, that doesn't sit well for like not everybody. And the idea of like the goddess is always like basically tied to the god because she's either pregnant with him, is nursing and raising him, now suddenly he's grown up so she can like go off, have sex with him, get pregnant by him, to then have him die, and then oh my god, she gets to give birth and the cycle repeats. That's the whole story of the Wheel of the Year, and like not every witch is on board with that, and that's all this book really is for the Wheel of the Year. And it just, there wasn't that much to it. Like some of her other books, she adds in a lot of details of a lot of other stuff. This time, she didn't. It was really, like, it makes me wonder if she was trying to pump out a lot of books really fast, and either this is some of the first books she did, or she was hitting a burnout point, but like, they just don't match her other books. Her other ones are really good. And then you get to this and you're like, but what happened? Like, it did not have the same flair as the other ones. It was so generic, so basic, and again, it really only focused on the Wheel of the Year in a Wiccan context, which is fine. And then, of course, you have the moon. Same deal. And, like, the other thing is that, like, it's cool, the moon, she includes all of the phases, so instead of just, like, waxing full, waning new, which even then, sometimes you don't even include the new, but, like, they do. It's so weird. This time, it's like the 8 phases, so you have like the waxing gibbous, the waning crescent. Like there's a lot of phases in there that she includes, which is good. But like again, it wasn't like that much information. And then the thing is, in this book in particular, I don't know what happened with her research, but like what? So again, this one and this one example in particular surfaced twice. So that's what I'm thinking, like these two are written at like the same time. Close enough-ish. But like, whether they published at the same time is totally different. Authors are chaos. Like, we do whatever we want in the background. But like, this included deities, right? The problem is, like, I have never, like, deities can fit into different titles, right? You could look at Hades as the god of the dead. You could also look at him as a husband. Or look at him as somebody to maintain order. He rules the dead. The dead are still like the living, you know? Like, they're still chaos. He has to maintain them. He's got a really big job. You could also look at him as the lover to Persephone and then her husband. Like, you can fit a few roles on any of the deities, really. So, like, in that context, never, ever, ever have I seen, I think it's pronounced Bave. It's this weird name. It's like B-A-D-B, but I think the D-B is supposed to be pronounced like a V, from what I can gather. But she's the aspect of the Morrigan that is like the Banshee, okay? Never, ever, ever have I seen her be the mother face, ever. Like, she is always death. And like, she is the Banshee. She is like the nightmare creature, right? Like, she's not what you would think of as a mom, unless we're like sneaking into like Freud categories. Like, she's not like a motherly figure out of any mythology. Like, she's just not one that like comes to mind as like, ah yes, the motherly love. No, she's like the thing of your nightmares, or she's there grieving beside you and like wailing over your grief. That's more her speed, not caring, loving mother. That was weird. And she included it in both of these books that Babe is sitting here as the mother, and I'm like, in what world? In what world? And then, like literally, I think it was in this one, it was like the next page, she's the crone, and you're like, that fits more-ish. Because honestly, I'm not a huge fan. I'm really reevaluating all of the things, but like, sure, crone, old, death, sure, that makes sense. The mother part just felt weird. And some of the other deities you kind of were left questioning. And then some of them she like just didn't even include an example at all. She's like, just all of them. And you're like, but on the other page you said all and then listed specifics. It was just like, it's just not her usual writing that she normally does. It was a bit disappointing. Is it the worst thing ever written? No. But like, personally, I feel like even the collective of the Sabbath Essentials books would be better than this. And like, the only way I would be like, have somebody read this short little book is if you are Wiccan and you follow the like general Wiccan beliefs of the Wheel of the Year and the moon phases, with it being the triple goddess but like spread out a little bit more. Like, if that's you and you want somebody to have a brief idea of what you're doing, maybe. But other than that, not really. And again, like, she's done so much better in her other books. I don't know what happened. Was this the first ones? Was it like she was getting burned out? I don't know. It doesn't match the other ones that I've loved. So anyways, I would love to hear your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. As always, make sure to like and subscribe. I post every single day. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and blessed be.